Welcome back, Magic Crew. Of course, I am Zach. She is Lindsay. Off camera is our lovely little fur baby Remy. No, he's not off camera anymore. There he is.
He's just right below the camera.
Yeah, so this is our kind of real thoughts, spoiler-filled review of a movie we saw tonight called Mercy. It stars Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson, and the reason why I understand this is a completely random movie to do a deep dive review on, so to speak, but she liked this movie way more than I did.
Which is rare, because if it's not a movie I'm suggesting, he typically likes it more.
Yeah, I thought this movie was bad, y'all. And I don't really, have... It's not that I don't have the words to describe it right now.
You
but
have the wrong words to describe it.
Well, you're the true crime expert, aren't you?
I wouldn't... Well, I've watched true crime and things like that since I was in my mother's womb. So... Ow!
Oh, I'm leaving that in.
He jumped off.
I am leaving that in. Remy is just a big bundle of joy.
He found a bug.
Oh, great.
I think.
Awesome.
I don't know.
So, how would you describe the plot of this movie?
The plot, or I don't know. When I describe it in my head, I think of two different things. I think of the style and how it's filmed, and then I think of the plot. I would describe, do you mean good, bad, or how I would describe
the story, what's the premise of this movie? What's it about if you are describing it to somebody who is looking to see it?
I would say that this movie is, it's not quite futuristic. It does take place in the future, which obviously would make it futuristic, but it involves AI, but not to the point of people that would deter you from watching it. I don't really like watching AI things or robot things, and it didn't deter me from watching it. It's really just about a guy who got, not quite framed, but it's about a guy.
Framed is the word I was thinking.
I was thinking framed, but the way the movie shows it, it's not like he was framed in the end, because usually framed means someone else makes him go down for it, and that's not how it appeared in the beginning of the movie. So I would say that there's a man...
Yeah, he was the...
Sorry, Remy's running around. It's about a man who was framed for a murder of his wife, and he goes to a trial to the death. So he has about, 90 minutes to determine if he is innocent or not, to prove his innocence, and if not, then he gets the death chair.
Remy, do you think he's innocent?
No thoughts in his brain.
What brain? There's no brain in there.
But I would definitely describe it as a semi-futuristic movie, where a semi-futuristic murder mystery crime movie, because it's not 100% murder mystery. He is trying to prove himself guilty. But that's also why it's not a full murder mystery, because a full murder mystery usually means nobody knows how it was done. This is how it was done, and someone was framed.
It is very much mystery adjacent, though, because Chris Pratt is playing a detective who works for LAPD.
I recognized all of it, too.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, driving through the streets of LA, you recognize probably Figueroa Street.
Yeah, I was like, I know that. Oh, yeah. I know that street.
So, and that's basically one of my things about the movie, even though the mystery was certainly there, and I appreciate the effort that was put into it. And Chris Pratt is certainly putting his all into this, and he has a very unenviable task of basically literally being shackled to one spot and having to act throughout the entire movie, which is, it's not an easy thing to do, but I think he
did show a lot of emotion, and the character himself wasn't the most emotional character. He was more so, what you would expect, shocked that this is happening, and, trying to accept or not that he may or may not lose this trial, and trying to figure out how to get through it. So I think those emotions came through, but he didn't need to have a bunch of complex emotions, because it really was just worry.
Yeah.
Worry. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but when he wants determination, and well, scared a little bit. Shocked and scared.
And there's a lot of like relatable things about this character. Like, he is a recovering alcoholic and he's having some marriage issues, and his wife is the one who was murdered. He is the prime suspect because he was,
for that exact reason.
Yeah, because they were having apparently AI at the Mercy Court figured out that they were having marital issues.
So the part of it that is the AI part of it, it was interesting because it's not that different from the systems we have today, which kind of to me freaks me out. It's just heightened to a new futuristic level. But essentially, the AI is taking everything uploaded into the cloud, which is kind of literally what we have today. The only difference is how much they're able to get, because not just camera footage and iCloud stuff, the AI itself is able to dig deeper into things and into people. Like, it's every single detail, not just what you give access to. So that's the only difference. But it is kind of freaky that that's similar to what we have now. And it only takes place, like, what, 3 years in the future?
It takes place in the year 2029. It is freaky, and it is my biggest issue with the film, honestly, is the script. This thing changes its mind way more times than a politician, in my opinion. It
didn't bug me too much with it changing its mind, because I was more focused on the crime itself.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess to me it felt more realistic. It felt like I was just watching... And then part of this comes with the fact that they did film it with body cam footage. So it was like watching...
Which is cool.
It was kind of like watching a documentary where they take the footage. It's not this cinematic masterpiece. It's just, here's the footage, here's the FaceTimes, and here's this. So that's kind of why I think I liked it more, because it made me feel like I was actually just watching the news channel.
It is a cool concept, but I've also seen this done before in movies that I think are far superior to Mercy, like Searching is a prime example.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I have, yeah. Searching and Missing.
Oh, yeah. Those movies are fantastic.
And that's what I didn't expect this movie to be like. I thought it would be more, I guess, cinematic. I thought it would be more... I didn't expect any body cam footage. I didn't expect any FaceTime type things. I just expected it to be like solely like a TV show cinematic filming.
So it was definitely living in that gimmick for sure, of like, okay, yeah, this is body cam footage and we're going to follow Chris Pratt's partner on this journey. We're going to have like FaceTime calls with some of the suspects, like the man that his wife was having an affair with.
I don't like body cam footage when it comes to movies, because it's too moving for me. Like, I get a little dizzy because it's shaky, which I know is the point, because they are literally running with a camera on their body. But I think because it was like that, I do slightly agree with you on that because it was not a documentary where that's all they have, that's like real footage that, they're using, it was meant to give that real feel, but at the same time, it was mostly just running footage. It wasn't a lot of anything else, because the other footage they used, if they were standing there, wasn't body cam footage. It was the FaceTime.
Well, then in the last chase sequence as well, like the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie where Chris Pratt does get out of the chair and he's chasing down the man who apparently did kill his wife. The shaky cam and that hand-to-hand sequence is just so ridiculously nauseating to look at. It's disgusting how bad it is, at least to me. And even the CGI with some of like, the trucks and the police cars that are just turning inside out, it's crazy to me that this is... I don't want to say that it's crazy this was put out in theaters, because, you have movies on Netflix and on Hulu, that I think definitely deserve theatrical runs, and yet we get this instead on the big screen. But
I think it's like they tried to do it in a documentary form without it being a documentary, because it's not based on it. I don't think it's based on anything. I could have taken inspiration from different things, but it's not based on a true story, so you can't turn it into a documentary. But it feels like they were kind of trying to do both a documentary style as well as a cinematic piece. And that's where I do agree. It did clash a little, but because I was so focused on the story, it didn't bother me as much as a viewer. But I think that's just because I really like murder mysteries and things like that. So for me,
Yeah.
I was all into it. I was like, oh, he's right. Oh, wait, he's going to be this one. It didn't feel too predictable either.
What did you
which
think
is
about
nice.
I thought it was kind of predictable, honestly.
Well, that's why I
for a
say
good
too
chunk of it.
predictable. There is stuff that you can predict based on the knowledge and the way that he's speaking, but it wasn't like, I didn't guess who killed him like halfway through the movie.
What did you think of the percentages of his guilt?
I thought that was really funny.
I
get it, but it was so it's to show that AI is, or at least not just AI, but that program is solely based on facts. So if he has anything that it's because he's trying to prove his innocence, he can't just speak freely. He has to ask for a fact to be shown and prove it. Like, it has to be logged. And so his guilt going down like 2%, then going back up, then going down like 4%, like just those little percentages until the end. I think that was trying to add comedy into it, because he's like, seriously, how am I like, I just gave you all this, how am I still not guilty? Like, how am I still guilty? And it's because he had no proof, essentially. She's like, well, you said it might be this man, but we don't have any body cam footage, we don't have any proof that he was there, so you have to bring up the proof, we have to go find it. So he couldn't just say, hey, I found a phone call log. They have to go back and track everything. It can't just be like, this person called this person at 10 a.m. It has to be, this person called this person at 10 a.m. We have to find where they were, make sure they were far apart, and then also log everything else.
I like how it also felt like to me, playing into that point, it felt to me like the AI judge played by Rebecca Ferguson was also very like, oh yeah, you don't have enough evidence here. But then, maybe half an hour when Chris, his character's name is Chris too.
Yeah, it's really funny.
When he wants to basically give up and admit that he is the perpetrator of the crime, she's like, "Oh no, you can't give up this easily." And I'm like,
see, that is because this program is solely supposed to be based on facts, and part of that is so that LAPD in this movie can get rid of criminals they don't really want to deal with. It's basically an easy way out for them to not have to have criminals on the streets. But it's also hard because then that way, if someone is innocent, it doesn't matter. So for that reason, the AI switching, I guess, is trying to show how he's trying to change AI and make it not solely based on facts and try to break the system to get him out of there. Yeah. That is why it changed. So that didn't bug me, because she didn't completely switch herself with evidence, no evidence. She went, these are facts. I'm glitching. These are facts. You need facts. But I don't want you to give up because you have this many minutes left, but facts. So essentially, the AI part of her that's learning through him to view things more than just the facts is changing a little bit and is going, no, don't give up. You still have 20 minutes left. You can do this, or whatever the time is.
Yeah, which also kind of explains and plays into what I thought was a pretty big plot hole in the movie. Where
I explained to him at the end of the theater. He said, that's a plot hole. And I said, no, it's not.
They're scanning the house and they're looking at the plate being thrown against the wall. They're looking at the vase being thrown to the ground. And I'm like, how come you couldn't just, if you're that advanced, how come you couldn't just recreate the whole murder scene and then just reveal who the person was right
because
there?
They have no evidence.
Like,
you can't they recreated the way the plate was thrown and the vase was thrown based off of facts of how it shattered, and they can essentially reverse that. But because they had no footage in the house, there is no way they could have done that. So your plot hole is not a plot hole. It's just you not understanding. This is what I'm passionate about. Because his thing makes no sense. And if you agree with me, you're right. If you agree with him, go watch it again.
Wow. All right. Yeah.
I'm passionate about that because I watch so many things of true crime and murder mysteries that when it comes to the AI part of this, it was not footage that they created of potential this and that. It was crime scene body cam footage. Or FaceTime footage. I think it was a bit of both.
Then how do they get those shots of, like, let's say they're in, like, they're on the loading dock and she's talking to one of her coworkers. How do they get that?
Cameras. Drone cameras. That was the drone coming through. The LAPD had the drone that the AI tapped into to show Chris. And then also whatever. So
they just have random drones flying around
No, this was because they were doing that.
Right. Yeah.
But also because it's a loading dock and it has to do with all of these things, they definitely have cameras that are on, like, those poles. Sometimes there
Right.
are poles that have cameras on them, like security cameras, because it is such a secure location. So that if anything happens, it's caught on camera. Because it's literally dealing with chemicals and a loading dock in general. It's unsafe to not have cameras. So that's why it was only one camera view, except for when the AI zoomed in. Because that's all they have are those telephone pole cameras, basically.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
But to go with what he was originally saying with the body cam scanning of the crime scene, it was a scan of what was left. So photos integrated into the AI, going back and forth between photos and live footage from the officer at that space. That's why the plate being thrown, based off of what was shown with the shattering, AI can recreate how it would have looked, but they can't recreate people because there's nobody there. The only person they could create was the dead body on the floor because there was an image of that was provided. It only goes based off of what is provided. So since there's no internal cameras, there's no videos or iPads or anything that was there, they can't tap into any of that. That is why the blood on the floor, they can only take it and look at the molecules and go with the facts and be like, oh, blood is made up of A, B, and C, so this is there. Oh, we found hair at the scene and the hair matches this person. So there's no way they could have recreated it with a human there. They could have potentially said, yeah, someone could have thrown it, someone could have done this. That's why Chris and Jack were talking, and Chris was like, and yeah, she could have tossed the vase, or she could have tossed this and ducked, and then the knife. But they can't recreate it because there's no person's steps to recreate it. It's just a vase fell, a plate was thrown, body on the floor, stabbed.
Everybody got that? Everybody get all that? Yeah, she threw a lot out.
Sorry.
Man, that AI must suck then. So that's just me. It's
not, it's supposed to be what we have today. It's not supposed to be this futuristic thing. Because it's not a futuristic movie, except for a couple of things. Obviously, if it took place today, it wouldn't make sense because we don't have that technology the way they do. I mean, we do, but we don't. So that's why it was taking place in the future a little bit, so they could add these like flying police cars, basically.
We're not going to have those in 3 years, though.
I really hope not.
I guarantee you, police cars will still be on the ground. They're not going to be flying around Back to the Future style.
It was pretty cool, though.
It's a cool idea, but there is no damn way.
That's why this was slightly futuristic, because it was supposed to take inspiration from what we have now and bump it up a level.
Yeah.
That's why the AI isn't this, because it's not focused on the AI being this of all knowledge thing. It is more so a fact so that police officers don't have to take and do every case. It's that once they know we're guilty, they send there and say, you know what, try to prove us wrong, so that they don't waste their time.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is it's not this all-knowing being. It is supposed to just be, give me facts. I can bring up the facts you're talking about. If you don't have facts, I can't understand you.
Yeah. So
it's basically to put guilty people away without LAPD having to deal with it.
Which brings us to the guilty people. It is revealed at the very end, and if you don't want to be spoiled, sorry, but the title said spoiler review. Yeah, so your fault for clicking on the video and making it this far. It is revealed that Nick's coworker Rob killed her because, and this is, the more I think about it and just talking about it, this is actually a really tediously ridiculous motivation.
A pause thing is, though, we did miss the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's
so
ridiculous, though.
I think you think it's more ridiculous because we weren't there for the initial introduction. Because I know we got there.
We walked in right as the movie was starting. I think as the news was going on, and oh, they're framing Chris.
But I have a feeling that there was probably a history type of thing of this is the Mercy program and this was our first case, and I feel like that was an intro that we missed, which might be why it seems so crazy out of the blue for you.
Yeah, no, but even still, it's this guy is basically killing this guy's wife because he wants to get back at Mercy. And it's
no, he wants to get back at both Mercy and Chris because Chris was the one who sent that brother to the chair.
Chris was the one who sent his brother to the chair.
Because Chris is on LAPD.
Yeah.
That's what you might... it seems like you're forgetting that he's on LAPD.
No, I knew that. But again, it's it felt very like there had to be a lot of moving pieces to really get this motivation. It felt a little bit too complicated for me, but
I don't think it was complicated, because to me it felt like a realistic thing where it's like an emotional, you put my brother away that I've been looking for my entire life, and you put him away when I talked to him and no one believed me that he was innocent when he was, and I provided proof and you ignored that proof. And he assumed or thought, or could have been right, that Chris put that person in the chair, so he thought that Chris was the sole reason that this person was put away, so he wanted to punish Chris and at the same time take down Mercy.
But it turns out it wasn't, because
that is a plot twist I didn't expect, but I don't mind it. It's
his
fine.
partner was involved in this. The character of Jack, it's revealed that she actually, like, you know, put David's phone away. And I guess she was the one that sent him off, and she planted everything, and she set it up because she's like, oh, AI it's important. We got to keep it all.
It was her first Mercy trial, and she wanted it to succeed, because if it didn't succeed, LAPD looked bad. And so I think part of it is because that guy came from the red zone, is what they're calling it. That's also why she didn't care, because she's like, this is just a red zone guy. I can drop his phone there. It can be all good.
It was such an unnecessary reveal.
I agree that it was unnecessary. I don't think it really distracted too much, because I was like, it's fine, but it wasn't like a huge plot twist where I'm like, oh my God, what? But at the same time, it's fine.
Part of me also felt like there's a possibility that in the writer's room, they were like, oh, shoot. If it just ends with Rob being the one that was gotten to, because the movie is centered on this one mystery of finding his wife's killer, I mean, that's fine. But then you're also stuck with this message that's written into that part of the story that's like, hey, AI is actually pretty useful. A lot of people don't really like AI. AI is taking jobs away. It's not super beneficial for a lot of different things.
I could fully go into it. That's also why I don't like watching AI movies, partially because they freak me out, and partially because I just get mad.
A whole different rant for another time. But I feel like this movie kind of noticed that, and they were like, oh, well, we can't end on that note and say that AI is good. Oh, shoot. Okay, you're in on this plan, and you're going to say that AI is good, and then Chris is going to say, hey, we just need AI to be fixed, and we just need it to work like...
And I think they could have done that without making her, I guess...
They absolutely could have.
No, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Is that they could have done it without adding her into it. It could have just been like this, you know, the plot of it all ending, Robert going to jail still because he did, you know, a murder and attempt murder. So he still goes to jail, but not the mercy chair. And they could be like, fine. After this, Chris proved that AI can change, and that AI we should not 100% fact base, I guess, people's trials. So you could use AI, but then at the same time, give it a little bit of emotion in there, or when you detect emotion, have them like ring in a real person or an LAPD officer.
Yeah.
Something like that. It could have ended with that instead of it being like, oh, she did it because she wanted it to be successful. And if they wanted to go with some sort of tying into the original crime, I guess, beforehand, they could have still included her. She could have been involved in it and been like, wait, you were involved? Because they said a lady called and you changed the evidence, and she could have been like, oh, I didn't even realize it. I'm sorry. It could have been something small like that, or not even involved. But I don't mind it, like I said, because it didn't distract me from the real thing, but it also wasn't necessary.
It was very unnecessary. This movie made my head hurt, man. I don't know what it is. Like, it's a factor of like all these things that I've talked about, but I mean, hey, if you like this movie like this one did,
it's not, I will say, it's not my favorite movie. There are a lot of better crime, murder mystery movies I have seen, especially recently. But for someone who enjoys that type of content and genre, I would watch it again. But it would be one of those things that like, oh, I'd watch it again, like to pass time or to show someone who hasn't seen it, or while playing games, or in the background. Like, it's something that I would watch again because I've seen it before, and I like that type of style of movies, not necessarily like, oh, I'm gonna sit for another 2 hours and watch it. Also, I don't know how long it was, but I didn't feel like it was super long,
it's like
which is
an hour
really great
40,
for me. Okay,
hour
that
40,
explains
something
it.
like that.
I was
Yeah.
like, it felt shorter, and I like shorter movies because I can't sit for so long, but I really liked it for that reason.
Yeah. So, I mean, some of you will definitely like this movie more than I did. I thought it was kind of bad, if I'm being honest, but it's yeah, she's. We can have different opinions. That's what makes talking movies great.
I know.
Right?
I
Yeah,
know.
and that's what makes getting in front of this camera, talking all things movies with you guys is
And
great.
hopefully
as it
there's
is.
people on my side now that I can talk to about me liking movie and him disliking it, versus Switch where everyone's on his side.
There you go. But guys, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Tap that thumbs up and that bell icon to stay in touch with us constantly. We got a whole bunch of fun content in the pipeline on this channel. At some point, we're going to do a Disney pin collection
I'm
for
just
each of us.
reorganizing my pins, so it's definitely
And
going to be filmed soon. Don't know about uploaded yet.
I still got to reorganize mine. I don't know when that's going to be, but
We are going to be out of town soon as well, so
Yes.
hopefully mid-February to early March is my hope for at least my half.
Yeah, I don't know if I can put a date out yet, but when you see me with my stupid ass smile, sorry, I'll edit that. But when you see me and my stupid smile looking at you and all these Disney pins in your face and the thumbnail, you'll know it's up there.
Yep.
And of course, subscribe to my main channel where I don't know if I'm gonna upload this one first
Yes,
or
it will be pausing, but yes,
Yeah.
this one will be uploaded later. We already talked about that, so
Right, yeah.
you can say check it. It'll be like
and subscribe to join the magic.